open.
Yeah.
It can go a little forward, but I mainly want it to be like that.
Yeah. Baseball-wise, it's so easy to do, which I've been doing with Xander a lot recently. But hey guys, thanks for watching. Special video today because I have been, Milo and I, doing a video with MILO Lines, PGA, who's an instructor in Arizona, teaches guys on. Tell us about some of the players that you teach, Milo.
I teach some players on the LPGA Tour, some players who play in major championships, like Chan Kim, who mainly plays overseas, but he's a top 100 player in the world. I've also worked with guys who've played in quite a few PGA Tour and Corn Fair events, and then a smattering of mini tour players. So, and mostly I teach the regular guys,
right?
Members of the club and people who fly in to see me. So.
Yep. And Milo and I have been doing videos for a while, and every once every maybe a month or so, Milo and I will do a Skype call just to talk about golf stuff like this, and they're always so interesting to me that I was thinking, if next time I do one of these, I should record it because I think you guys could get something out of it as well. All right, so in this video that I put up, I said that I've seen a lot of golf pros, and I never got a great, in a can anyway, a very good explanation for this next question. So let's get to that now. All right, Milo. So show everyone in a down the line way where the club is at address.
So at address, the club is something like this.
So what club is that?
This is a 6-iron.
So what's generally the lie angle of a 6-iron? Do you know?
It'd probably be like on my 6-iron, probably like 40 degrees ish.
Okay, so 40 you said?
Around there, yeah.
All right, let's just say 40 just for the sake of argument. So go to address. So that's 40 degrees, and that's kind of the angle. So folks, just keep in your mind like that angle there. Now go to where you would be at impact. Okay, so that's pretty darn close to, maybe it's just a little taller.
It comes up a little for me. It comes up a few degrees. So it goes from like right here to right there.
So that goes from 40 to maybe 40.
It actually goes from under 40 up to 40 or right around.
Oh, I gotcha.
Because my lie angles are set up so that they're correct at impact.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. All right, so let's just for argument's sake say that address and impact are basically the same. So
they're close.
Yeah, they're close. So when you make a backswing and then slowly make a backswing, to there exactly. So you're still from there and then go through to your waist high on the other side. This is kind of like a number one, like we do. So you're basically staying on that 40-degree plane the whole time in that kind of shot.
I'm just tracing that arc, yeah.
Right. But what happens when you make a bigger backswing and your right arm starts to bend is you start to come above that plane, which some people are calling the functional swing plane.
Yes.
And so my question always was, okay, so I can feel a lot of good things when I'm just staying on that original address impact plane, which are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
But once I bend the right elbow, the golf swing starts to get very confusing in okay, what do I got to do with this bent right elbow? And in kind of like a Hank anyway, I'm on this parallel, higher but parallel plane. It's going to feel very unathletic and weird to do something and dynamically get back to P6, which is supposed to be now again on that 40-degree plane that address was. So what do you do from the top with a bent right elbow to get back down to the impact plane athletically? What's the way to do that?
Okay, so I explained this pretty good the other night.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to explain it as good tonight. So there's a combination of really two things that are happening. But before we go through those two things, we have to realize what we want for impact. So at impact, we want to arrive with our right elbow somewhat bent. Okay, so that means that arm can't straighten all the way out.
Right.
Okay, so the thing that gets us back onto this plane, or gets us off this plane, is the folding of the right arm. Okay, so that elevates the club up onto plane. So in order to get down to the same plane, I would have to lengthen my arm all the way back out, but I know I don't want it straight at impact.
Okay.
So there's another element there. So because I'm going to arrive at impact with a bent right arm and a hinged back right wrist, the other thing that gets us down to the plane is some compression into the ground. So I call that flexion. So we need to flex into the ground, and that comes from a combination of our hips working deeper, our knees adding a little bit of flex, and our spines adding a little bit of frontward flex, or like this. So basically, if you look at most tour players, you'll see some compression into the ground in transition. And that's another thing that helps us get back down onto that swing plane.
Go to address.
Okay.
And then do nothing else except for how much your right arm would be bent.
So my right elbow will be bent right here, and my right wrist will be bent back like this. Now, if I just turn my body, I'm going to go over the ball.
Right. So that's not enough.
Even though I'm right on the same plane, I'm just above the ball. So now I've got to do something to get down to it. So there's going to be some of me getting into the ground.
Okay. So slowly going from the top, go to the top. So to get this exactly right. So from the top, you are widening your right arm or no?
Yeah, I feel like I'm widening my right arm. Now, in the Gears 3D analysis I've seen of my own golf swing, it doesn't necessarily start widening right in transition. I feel like it does. I feel like I'm widening it right away. Yeah. But it looks like it starts to widen about P5.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But what I am doing for sure is I'm lowering. I lower by about 4 inches.
Mm-hmm. Do you get in the backswing? Do you get higher, or do you get a little lower, or stay the same?
My waistline stays almost the same.
Mm-hmm.
I create a little bit of bend, and I get about half an inch lower. So I get about a half an inch lower in my backswing. Not a lot.
Yeah.
But then right in transition, so as I start down, I lower quite a lot as I begin to unwind.
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then from there, I just turn out of the way, and now I can arrive with the dynamics I want.
All right, so the MILO Lines way to conquer this problem of being on a higher plane is to be wider with the right arm, have more forward flexion, and also like butt back a little bit, and then kind of rotate in front of the ball with the wrist back.
Pretty much. Basic. We want to boil it down to some simple stuff. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, simple stuff. Okay, so I'm finding it really difficult to figure out athletically how much to lower, because like if I'm doing like a number 1 shot, you don't need much lowering, and then
exactly on a number 1 you really don't need hardly any
lowering.
You basically got the radius already set, so you're just turning into the ball. But in my series on my website, the second phase is not necessarily a number 2. I call it a 1.5, where we're going to do a number 1 but add wrist hinge and leave it. So if I leave the wrist hinge, in order for me to hit that golf ball, I'm going to start to feel what to do with my body. So hinge, and you can see there, I went into the ground to get that club down to the ball.
Your number 2, you can feel that would be too short and that would be above the ball, so you just athletically get lower?
Yeah, if I just turn level, I'm going to go over it. So I'm going to figure out how to keep the hinge and hit it.
How is that not a number 2? How is that a 1.5?
Because in a number 2, I'm letting the momentum of the club go.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I'm starting to let the club swing.
And then the 1.5, you're kind of stopping at 9.
Yeah, I'm stopping over at 9, and when I stop at 9, I want to feel like every bit of wrist hinge I created in the backswing is still there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so do a 1.5 for us.
So it looks like.
Oh yeah, that looks cool.
So I leave all the hinge in the swing because that forces me to get my chest to turn. If I have the hinge here, the only way to get the club to the ball is to start to turn. So I'm going to have to lower some because I want to hit it. So hinging, lower, hit, leave the hinge.
So when you're trying to figure out like how much to lower throughout the different shots, that just comes from doing it a lot?
Yeah, it's a sport. You're an athlete. You figure out how to move the ball.
Okay, earlier, like a couple months ago, you were telling me, I think when we did the parallel lines video or something like that, you were telling me there was this certain drill that you wanted me to try to, certain shot you wanted me to try to hit, but most guys always try to get me to hit like at like 10%, including you. But this time you told me, no, I want you to hit this shot as hard as you can.
Yeah.
You think that's really going to help me. Remind me of that. Which shot do you want me to try to hit as far and as hard as I can?
It's basically this number 1.5.
Okay.
I want you to make. I actually want you to make almost full backswings with no follow through. So you're gonna go here and hammer the ball and see where my club finished.
Yeah. Okay,
Never,
so hit it as hard as I can with never getting the toe rolled over.
never getting the toe rolled over and never getting the club head on this side of my hands. So whack.
Yep.
You hit it like what would happen if you took an axe and you were going to hit a tree with it. You'd hit it, and because the tree stops your axe, the axe would never keep going.
Yeah.
So I want you to just hit it as hard as you can and figure out how to get that club. You can see my finish. It looks like this.
Yeah.
That would probably be a 150-yard 7-iron. Just hit it hard and not much follow through.
And it'll come out lower, right?
It'll come out really low. It's just a way to get your body to speed up so you can put the brakes on and hold the club and keep it from going. So you have to, in order to hold the club off, you have to speed up. Because if you slow down, the club will go by.
Oh, all right. I'm gonna send you some videos of me doing that. I've been a member at Milo's website for 3 months now or so, and I really like it. The thing that I like the most about it is the Coach Now community, because I learn really by kind of communicating with other people and then like back and forth videos and things like that, and that's what this Coach Now thing that members of MILOLinesGolf.com get synced into. So I think that is just like a brilliant part of it. Plus then like all the modules and like going through like, okay, this is what you do is all very good. And it's all on MILOLinesGolf.com. You can become a member there for a discount if you use the code BeBetterYearly or BeBetterMonthly. And this is my favorite one. So I want you guys to at least go check it out because I think it's that much worth it. Milo, you didn't go out for the US Open this year?
I haven't hardly touched a golf club for the last few months. So
come on, bro.
I think I've played twice.
You're still a young man. You gotta go for it.
I've gotten pretty busy lately, so it's hard to.
I know that's the thing, to say no to a day full of lessons just to
go try to qualify so I can get into another qualifier. So it's like, I've made it through the local qualifying quite a few times, but I've never made it through section qualifying. So
yeah. But if you made it to the US Open and even missed the cut by a million, that would be so good for the business. You got to think about it that way. It'd be a business builder for sure.
Yeah, it's hard though because the business is already going crazy. So.
Yeah, right, exactly.
At this point, I would rather see my guys do really good. I want to see some of the guys I work with win some big events. So. Yeah,
that'd be exciting. You guys can check out Milo on his YouTube page. If you just search Milo Lines on YouTube, you'll see it. I'll also link it in the description to this video, and go check out that website that I said. Also, exciting announcement. We're coming up on 100,000 subscribers here at Be Better Golf, and I have a bunch of golf stuff that I've accumulated throughout the history of the channel that I don't really even want anymore. So I'm going to be giving it all away to the subscribers. I want almost like, other than my bag of clubs, I want like no training aids, nothing. I want to give it all away, and then I'm going to buy back the stuff that I like. And so at 100,000, I'm going to have this big giveaway. So, but only people who are in the gate before 100,000 will be eligible. So sign up and subscribe now. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys.
Some of your stuff.
Yeah, you don't want it. I know you don't want it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. Okay, hold on. I want to share something with you. Okay, here we go. So in these air swings that I'll find it and I'll send you a video of it. But the same thing. We saw the hands like off the right leg, and then my at 6, and then at 7, like, a lot of like what would have been shaft lean, and taking a nice shallow divot and then like really getting balanced and up onto the left leg nicely. And here the motion is just different. It's just a lot different. I'm wondering, and then there's that gap we were talking about in the video we just did. And then when I get to the ball, you can see already now I'm getting the club and the ball and the lead arm too much in line. And then now I'm getting it not carried over at all. And then I kind of save it a little bit, and that actually, I think that shot went left. And then later on, yeah, this one I hit better, but it's still you can see already at 6 it's a little better, but it's still gapped there. Much better at like 7.2 or whatever. So my question is like similar question I've already had before. I've had you before, because you'll really like a lot of my air swings and stuff. What am I doing differently here?
Look at how your chest is like not really turning much. So right there, your chest is probably almost 45 degrees closed just before P6.
All right, here's 5. So where would you like it to be at 5? Because it looks like my chest is trying to open at 5. My left arm sure looks pinned.
Your left arm's a little too pinned. So your right arm's a little too bent. See how cute that angle looks?
Your right arm, yes. Your
right arm looks really bent, or it's behind you, one of the two. And go down one or two more frames. That's like 6.5. Your chest at 6.5 is still closed slightly.
So you're saying my chest is at 5 is not too bad, but my chest at 6 is like way behind in rotation where it should be?
Yeah, it's quite a lot. At 6, the average on the tour is 10 degrees open with the chest at 6.
Okay, and you would say I'd probably 15 degrees closed here?
Yeah, you're closed. I don't know how much, but you're closed.
Yeah. But what would you say is the main issue that's keeping me from making a swing to the ball look more like my air swing, making a divot?
Can you show me an air swing?
I can, but I gotta find it. Hold on, I will show it to you. So this one you can see, because like we're working so much on the forces and stuff, you know, I really get pretty darn lateral on the way through. But even though I get pretty lateral, I keep my angles and everything really nicely. So if I go through here.
Now look at your chest though. See right there? Go back to 6.
So
perfect 6. Right
exactly,
there,
like
it's almost squaring.
All right, so I'm really liking that. You like that, right? This kind of toss
like
thing
that.
that I'm working on with it. Yeah.
I like the toss backswing. I teach it every day.
Okay, good. All right, and then I'm kind of right about there. I'm starting to go left again. That's the thought: is left, right, left, just like we worked on in the driving force. And then I'm wider here than I'm used to, and less angle between shaft and lead forearm, which kind of felt good. And then I definitely get deeper than normal, but felt super athletic. I'm liking this. So let's just go to 5.
See, look at your watch your lead shoulder. Watch these first few frames. See how it's going down, opening.
Down and opening in those
first down and opening in those first like 6 frames.
It's a big difference, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all what your chest does. Your chest. See, that's at 6 or at 5, you are so much more level and more open.
Level? What do you mean?
Like your left shoulder's still lower than your right one. You can look at the top of your backswing.
Yeah, I will. Just a second. There's the top.
Now watch what happens in transition.
I don't know. I'm kind of seeing it.
No, it looks different right there. Oh, go back. What your arms did, something changed.
Yeah, okay.
It looks totally different right there.
Right here?
There, that looks totally different. Yeah, that's almost 5, and you're so closed. And your arms are so pinned across your chest.
Okay, so I'm looking here. I'm less pinned here.
Way less pinned.
In the good one.
Yeah, wait, see how much more your right arm is so much wider. And this is the bad one here.
This is the bad one. That's the good one.
Yeah.
My head is I mean, if you weren't here, the only thing I would notice is my head is looking more forward and my right arm is a lot wider. That's the two things I would notice. What do you notice?
I noticed your right arm's a lot wider. You have a lot less right bend in your spine. So you've maintained left bend a lot longer.
Yeah, and then it really gets me, and then the finish feels totally different too, because you know I stay on that right foot a lot of times. This one really felt like I was up and out of it much more.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think the main takeaway I can take from it? Because that kind of frustrated me when I was moving so well without a ball, and he was saying like that it looked tour, and you know he's a tour coach, so I was like, oh, that's cool. So he was all excited for me to hit a ball, and then I was like not hitting the balls well. Yeah.
Yeah, because what happens when you go to hit it? Yeah, when you go to hit it, there's something, I don't know what exactly, but you go to this look where
Yes. Okay.
you get this. When you made those air swings, it was that look. So you could see you're going like this versus like this. And that's why I want you to go back and hit it as hard as you can with that drill I gave you. Boom. Because the only way you can get the club head to the ball, if you leave this like this, leave this angle here, you've got to get this left side of your body in the chest opened up around. If it goes like this,
yeah,
you're always going to hit it like this.
Yeah, it's frustrating because I have seen that like not only with air swings, but also like if there was just like a pine cone or a foam ball there or something like that, I'd be able to make a pretty darn good move on it. And then so I'm wondering like, okay, what in my mind am I trying to add loft to the club and trying to add loft to it? Is that what's freezing me back behind the ball? Like I'm wondering if there's like a mental thing where I need to think like, you know what I'm saying? Like how like, okay, am I aiming the momentum of it kind of like in a Bobby Clampett aiming point way too far backwards when the ball's there, trying to get under it? Like, what are any ideas on like different mindsets I should try? Because when I know that when I'm trying to make that divot in my mind, I have the leading edge in my mind, and I'm gonna kind of get out of the way, and I'm gonna scrape that leading edge through the turf shallow, you know. And that's kind of like the feel. And when I'm trying to hit the ball, who the heck knows? I am definitely a lot more parts and pieces.
Well, that's the problem you run into. You're trying to hit the ball.
Okay. Rather than like collect it or
collecting it or just I just feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm just hitting it to the target. I'm not trying to hit the ball. I'm just sending the ball to the target. Try that and do the drill I gave you. Along with, I like the forces and stuff that he had you doing. I think that motion looked good.
Yeah. It was like basically the same stuff as driving force. It was just a little bit different in the upper body as far as like I hadn't felt that toss. I kind of like was thinking like that'd be cool if there was some tech or something where like I felt like there's a shadow in front of my motion doing it that way. Yeah.
In my own personal golf swing, I feel like everything I do is just happening ahead of the club head. The club head is just catching the energy last.
Yeah. What's your best way to get people to have less wrist motion and stuff and more of, okay, let me get the forces moving the right way?
I have a really heavy club, just one of those momentous.
Oh yeah.
Containers.
Yeah.
And I have people swing it, and I have them throw it first. So in order to get it, I have them throw it backwards and then forwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in order to toss it back in a backswing, you don't grab it with your hands. You kind of heave it. And then in order to swing it down and hit the ball, you've got to feel like you have to recruit all your muscles to be able to throw it. The thing's heavy. And then then I have people hit balls with it. I like to hit balls with it for a warm up, because if you try to accelerate the wrong part of your body, out of order, you can never get the face square. You'll always hit it right. Everything you were doing in those air swings, really feel in your transition that you're stupid phone. Sorry.
You were yelling at me about getting a tripod the other day.
Well, my tripods are all at work.
Oh, yeah.
I don't keep one at home. Yeah, piece of junk. Okay. I want you to work on feeling like this seam that runs down your whole left side is going around over here behind you.
Rather than sliding forward or staying behind the ball, it's going forward and open is what you want.
Open. Yeah. It can go a little forward, but I mainly want it to be like that.
Yeah. Baseball-wise, it's so easy to do, which I've been doing with Xander a lot recently. But yeah, golf-wise, I can tell if I did this golf-wise, I would feel like I'm going to thin it so bad, or I'm going to swing above the ball. You know what I'm saying? So, because I think that's part of the reason there's such a big difference with the air swing and the other way. It's fear of thinning it. I feel like if I did this, I'd thin shank it.
Well, that's why you've got to go down and around. But where you go in your real swings is just a little bit that way. And now so from here, there's not enough time to get out of the way, so you hit it with your hands.
Yeah, so you got to combo this seam here going open and back away from the ball with more forward flexion to get you back down to the level of it.
Okay. Yeah, and so it's a whole bunch of different things. It's knee flex, all of this. Okay,
right. All right, I'm just gonna write those two things down. So a two shot to 9 face to sky full, and then I'm also going to try left shirt seam open. So just like I was getting, remember I said I was going to get the shoulder, hip, knee away from that thing. I can do that even earlier with this upper body away from the stick and low, right?
You can't overdo it yet because you're not a player who struggles with club getting outside. You struggle with your body staying closed. So your hands will work out, but your body will be like this.
Yeah, that's definitely what I do. Mm-hmm. All right, so left shirt seam open and away from the stick, and then I'm gonna have to get low to compensate. If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna also have to get low.
And it'll happen on its own. You won't miss hit them forever. You'll miss a couple of them, and then you'll figure out how to hit it. Okay, I can go ahead and I hit a perfect one.
All right, cool. All right, thanks, Milo. Appreciate all your time.